What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cam, sitting here with my lovely wife, the beautiful, the pregnant, Vicky Logan. And we are your host for the podcast, Everything Is We. We love to talk about family, faith, lifestyle, relationships, friendships, marriage, fashion, sports. You name it. Yeah, we're about to go ahead and get into it. Appreciate y'all for holding down the fort. It's actually been I just realized it's actually been an incredibly busy few months.
Yeah.
Pretty much basically since we found out that you're pregnant, it's been nonstop. We've been on the go, moving
It's
and
rolling
shaking.
out a stopwatch.
And so we're pretty much home for the next several weeks. And so we'll be pushing out the content. Y'all check the vlog out. And y'all remember.
The next several weeks, we're only going to be here for a week after this. And then we're going to be gone again. We'll be gone
but we would have
be
been
back,
home.
and we'll be gone a week again.
This is our second full week home.
Okay.
And then next week.
And then the last week, and then we're back.
It's the
we're back
next
on,
week is the
we're back
last
on tour.
full week.
We're back on tour.
Right. Yeah. So
it's okay though, because come December is my last hurrah, and then I will be sitting down. I just trying not to say what I wanted to say. Sitting down until further notice.
Until further notice.
Until we pop, pretty much. I won't be traveling after December. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we came back from the baby moon. And let's just talk about the baby moon. It was just a nice time. You know, that's why I like the fact that we vlog, because I can go back and I can watch, and I'm like, man, Vicky does it often. I don't necessarily do it as much. You don't ever
watch back. We should have a marathon and just watch back all of our fun trips.
Yeah, and then it's man, those are beautiful moments. And this kind of it'll kind of touch the question that we're going to get into later in the show, but it kind of reminds me of how when you and I first started dating, and I came, I would come to the house when I would come visit, and your parents always had home videos of you, and so you had visible copies of memories basically. And I just think that's super cool. We have visible copies. I was thinking about visibility and physical, but we have visible copies of memories and trips and things, and all the things that we've done pretty much our entire marriage.
The good majority of it, yeah.
Yeah. So not that we record every single moment of our lives, because y'all know we don't. But it's cool that I was there, and a week and a half removed from the baby moon, I'm watching back and I'm like, man, we had a time.
Boy, we had a time last night.
I love setting you up so you could insert your TikTok references.
My memes and my TikToks.
Yeah. So it was just great. Going back to a place that we love. Y'all know we love Cowboy at this point. Y'all know we love it.
I will say I probably won't do another. Well, I won't say that because we might, but I will say I wasn't. It feels weird. Not that I didn't enjoy myself, but it felt weird to be back at Nobu because we'd already been there. It felt weird only because I'm so used to having a new experience every time I go somewhere. So this time it wasn't a new experience, so it felt weird. It was I feel like I'm in my memories. It was weird. I was trying to be present, but it didn't feel new. So it felt like I'm doing this again. I don't know. It was strange. It was a strange feeling. I still had a good time.
Well, see, that's interesting that you say that, because like for me,
I felt like I relived a memory. Maybe it's because we had the exact same style room too. So it was like, I feel like I'm in my head.
I don't know. I've been blessed to this fact that growing up, my family, my parents prioritized a family vacation every summer. It so happened to fall on my birthday week every year. And we stayed at this particular resort every year. And we typically, like the timeshare that my father owns, they're set up the same.
Yeah, they look the
so even if we was on the different side of the resort, like the room was built the same.
Well, that's true, because we do that for we do that for our family vacations.
Unless there's like an upgrade where they like upgrade all the, amenities, and they change the room, which they've done in my lifetime maybe 3 times. And then it's like, oh, like this is new. But as far as like landmarks, like the basketball court was always there, the game room was always here, the pool was always there. So like for me, I'm used to going back to a place every year, and even though you have a certain level of familiarity with the place, you still like create new memories and new moments. And like I can go back to, our spot in Orlando and tell you like, oh, this when I rolled my ankle, or man, I remember when this happened there. Like there's so many different memories. And like, I guess, I don't know, for you,
I like new experiences, but that's just me. Cam can eat the same thing every day.
I sure
can't.
can.
I have to have a new experience every day.
She doesn't, but
I don't, and I hate it.
She
but
wants to.
I don't like eating the same thing all the time. Like I like to.
Like, girl, you gonna get this sustenance.
I get bored with stuff so easy, man. Once I do it already, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna do something else now.
Yeah, so
I have commitment issues. It's a wonder that I'm so good at marriage.
So pray for me. Pray for me.
I mean, I still like you every day, so I guess there's some things I don't have commitment issues with, but everything else, yeah, major commitment issues.
So do you think, I feel like an interviewer. So now tell me, do you think that your wanting, your wantedness, your desire, that's the word.
Yes.
Do you think that your desire to always want a new experience stems from your childhood experiences?
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
Delve deeper into that. Come on, tell me.
I mean, small town girl. That's really what it is. Like, now that I've left home and I don't do the same thing every day, it's fun. It's exciting. It's new. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. It's not like we did the same thing every day back home when I lived at home too, because our experiences were always I was always staying at somebody else's house, or not somebody else's house. Like I was staying at everybody's house, but like like different family members, like, so it wasn't like I was always doing the same thing all the time. But I don't know, like for me, when I think about this is how I think about it. For me, if I'm spending my money to do something, I don't want to spend my money on the same thing over and over again. Like, especially something as expensive as a trip. If we're going to spend money to go on a trip, I want to spend money on something new. Like when we do family vacays, I mean, it's a timeshare, so you gotta go. But like if we're spending money and we're not locked into something, why not experience a new place? You never know, if you like it or not. And then, I don't know. For me, with food, I just like to try new things. I grew up a really picky eater, so I'm reformed. I don't know how that happened, but I was the chicken strips kid. And then, well, not really. I think I've always had exquisite taste. I used to squeeze lemon on my food, so I feel like most kids don't squeeze lemon on their fish.
That means you have exquisite taste.
I mean, not exquisite, but my dad used to make shark nuggets. So I mean, I feel like if I ate shark,
Where was he getting shark from?
girl, I don't, child. See, I call Cam girl all the time. I'm sorry, babe. I'm so used to talking to Lexus. I don't know. I do not know. If we were on Wick, so I don't know where he got shark nuggets from. I think when you were on Wick, it's like people who be on food stamps, they always got crab legs. I don't know. We just would get crazy stuff and eat it. I don't know. This is going off on a tangent. But anyways, yeah, no, I've always been like, I like to try things that I can't get at home, Like, I just like to try new things. And especially, I think I'm spoiled too, because being in Chicago, we have such a wide variety of good food in the city. So it's like, man, like now that I've elevated my palate to a certain point, I can't go back to just eating, the regular degular. Like, once you go to Chicago and you eat enough in Chicago, you be like, man, I don't want regular food now. So everywhere I go, I gotta
can't go back.
But the reason why we went back to Nobu was specifically because that's what, to me, that was the best food we had at the resort ever, as far as consistency of all the restaurants, So I wanted to go back somewhere where I knew I could eat good, because all I really wanted to do was eat, because I can't do anything else but eat. So, because we can't do like activities and stuff when I'm pregnant. So it ain't like we could go skydiving or anything.
Absolutely not.
But I was thinking about that too. I was like, man, we wouldn't be able to do ATVs. I wouldn't want to do a boat, because I don't know how my stomach would have did on a boat. That might have been okay. Probably would have felt just like the Tesla.
Last time we won a boat,
I've never been sick on a boat, but I mean,
I had to pee so bad.
It was a little tiny boat too, but
in hindsight, why was we on that little?
Oh my God, we didn't know it was gonna be that small.
Little blow up boat.
We didn't know it was gonna be that small. When we got there,
watching.
When we got, babe, I had no idea.
Them whales.
When we signed up for whale watching,
was 7 times bigger. Maybe more than 7 times.
When we signed up,
it was way bigger. I mean, literally, it was basically like one of the boats that you blow up.
When we signed up for it, they didn't show us the boat. They just showed us the whales. So we were like, cool, let's do that. And then we went, and then they had that little baby boat and made us put on them life vests. And I said, oh no.
And we holding on. And
we had already paid for it, so we had to do it. But I was like,
Jesus.
If I would have known, I would not have done this. But I'm glad we did it. Fear factor. Fear factor.
I'm just glad we didn't get ate up by one of the whales.
That's this girl I follow, and I saw her kayaking in Chicago on her story today. And I was like, man, that looks fun, but I don't think me and Cam could do that. You ever been kayaking? It looks scary.
Kayaking? No, I've been canoeing.
Oh, that's the same thing.
In high school, we had individual.
Y'all had cool stuff in high school.
We had junior, senior year. You have team sports and
Cam went to a bougie high school, y'all. They had like canoeing and bowling and like swim classes.
That's why I'm good at bowling.
Like, who does that?
And then one year I took strength and conditioning, and I was like extremely ripped.
Yeah, our school.
I don't even know how I was that ripped, because all I used
running
to eat,
track on grass.
all I used to eat at lunch was Pop-Tarts, pizza, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I used to eat horrible.
That's how I was when I was running track. I was eating terrible.
And I'm sitting up here wondering why my skin is bad.
Same.
Up there crying. Bro, high school was so wild.
It really was.
That is so funny. But yeah, I mean, canoeing was dope, because we'd go through the Des Plaines River.
Child.
It was pretty cool.
Couldn't be me. One day I'll do it though. I gotta face all my fears.
But like, that's a lot of work to be kayaking.
It is. I don't think I have the upper body strength. We'd be stuck.
Nah.
They'd have to come get us.
Yeah.
I might have the upper body strength after this baby.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, man,
My arms are gonna be really buff.
after looking at the car seats and stuff, like even though we're gonna go with the lighter one,
It's still gonna be heavy.
putting an 8-pound baby in there, and then as they grow, like it's still gonna be heavy.
Or just carrying a baby, just holding one.
Yeah, just I just on your hip.
When I was holding Melody at transformation, I was like, "Oh, y'all do this all the time." Oh my God, she was killing me. I used to hold Jonathan. I was like, "Get this human off of me. He's huge."
Yep,
I used to hold in Gigi. She don't weigh nothing. She's only like 12 pounds,
if that.
and she don't hurt my arm. So maybe I'll be okay.
Yeah, she's a light carry.
She is. She's very light.
So
Because babies, they start off light, but then they get to like 15, 18 pounds over time. The car seats carry up to what? 50 pounds?
Some
Who's
go to
lifting
55.
50 pounds in a car seat?
Yeah,
You gonna have to do that. My arm said no already.
that's another thing that I'm thinking about, and I
I might have
know
to do some push-ups.
these are just we're just thinking out loud right now, guys. We're just thinking out loud, letting you guys into our thoughts.
I'm tired already.
So
My back hurts.
this is also why, like, because now that I'm thinking about it, I too don't want to get rid of the Jeep because it's paid for. But
Yeah.
lifting a big old baby, trying to put it up in that Jeep, in the car seat,
Well, no, but by the time the baby is heavier, you don't carry them in that. I'm saying. That's what I was trying to tell you. You don't carry them in that car seat. You put them in the seat that's already in the car. So
right?
You just
a
transfer
car
the
seat.
you transfer the baby from the stroller to the car. You don't put the whole car seat
But
at that point.
Yeah, but even still, I don't
That's why I said
know people
two.
do it, but
They do it. Probably not in that high
I
of a
don't
car,
want, I
but
don't want my baby in no Jeep.
why? You don't want me. So you didn't say that about me. So you care less about me. That's what you're saying. I don't matter as much.
You're strong. You a strong black woman.
I feel like if anything was to happen, like think about it this way. If something happens to the baby in the Jeep, that means something happened to me in the Jeep too, which means we both. So either way, it's like, why wouldn't you think about this before when it was just me?
I don't know.
You don't care about me. This is what this means.
No, it just means
Nobody thinks about me
It just means that
until the
my
baby comes and they're like, oh,
my thoughts,
that's not safe. Whoa.
my care, and my
It wasn't safe when I was in there.
my protection, awareness,
Please.
alertness.
I have not-
has just gone to another level.
Since I have
Just
had
like when
that
you be
Jeep.
like, "Oh, I want to take the doors off." I've never wanted you to take the doors off because
Why?
I don't know. My imagine, as you would say, my intrusive thoughts.
Your intrusive thoughts.
My intrusive
Because
thoughts.
I've rode around in a Jeep with no doors on it before and I was fine.
But it wasn't yours.
It was me and my mom. If something happened to
Okay.
us, what?
Yeah, and I still don't like it. Just because you did it don't mean when I was driving your dad's Jeep with the doors off, I was scared my doggone self.
Well,
I'm like, man,
I'm just letting you know.
If I'm driving next to a semi and one of these bolts flies off and something hit me, because stuff like that. Listen, I've been driving for
have
a
you
long
ever?
time,
Okay, but have you
and
ever?
stuff flies off of people's cars often.
Okay, but my car.
It bust when I had my BMW X3. It busted my whole headlight. Something huge flew off of a car, and I'm like, bro, what just hit me? I was ticked off.
In all your years of driving on the road, how many Jeeps have you seen in accidents?
I don't know.
None. Have I gotten into an accident in this Jeep?
You don't know what I didn't see.
Have we gotten into an accident in this Jeep?
Have we gotten
Never.
Have we gotten into an accident in any of our cars?
I did before I got married.
Like we ourselves. Like have we ourselves?
Oh, I got in
caused any
plenty.
accident?
I got in plenty of accidents before we got married. Now,
I'm not talking about before we got married.
no, that's what I'm saying. See, we're good.
Because when you married me, you became a new creation.
Exactly. So we'll be fine. Your anxiety is just all in your head. We will be fine.
Anyways, the baby will be primarily in the Tesla.
That's fine because you're gonna be driving. So I ain't going nowhere. I'm just letting y'all know right now.
That's the other part. I'm like, she really ain't gonna be going nowhere.
When do I go anywhere?
So
when do I drive? Exactly. I go places when I have to, and that's very rarely, twice a month.
So, yeah. All right. That's another thing. So we go to the baby moon, we relax. I didn't get to the part where you had your reflections, but I encourage everybody to watch the vlog. It's really good. Y'all, Vicky did her good editing.
I did my good editing.
I did my good filming.
I did the same editing that I always do on every.
Shout out to our brother Jan Hunter Jr. for providing.
Right. Oh my God.
The chill.
Do y'all know it takes me like an hour just to find music for the vlogs? Like I have to set aside time to find music. So the fact that he gave me music was such a lifesaver. Oh my goodness. If you make beats, please send me something because it's tough out here. Like it's hard to find good copyright free music. So
now his music is copywritten because he
no
lied.
His music is copywritten, but we worked out a deal. So
he official now. So y'all make sure y'all go check out Jan Hunter Jr. Chill.
Yeah, I put all his information in the vlog description box. So all his stuff his information's all in there. I gave him his credits.
Yeah.
Well, I had to, but not that I wasn't going to. I would, but.
So yeah, don't send us no beats if you ain't good now.
I will vet. Now I won't use them if I don't like them. One thing about me, I ain't gonna put it in there I don't like. Okay.
So yeah, I mean.
Oh, you had reflections?
Go check the vlog. It was just great.
You had reflections?
I mean, not necessarily.
Oh.
It's just like I enjoyed it. Because I think someone made a comment too. And sometimes, it's just like you gotta, as we used to say in the business world, you gotta level set. you gotta set expectations. Like we're not saying it's our last solo trip because
people be taking stuff too literal.
Yeah, like we're clearly going to go on trips where the kids won't be
half
with
the time
us.
I'm being sarcastic, guys. Sometimes I'm not even really being serious.
No, but like people like the baby moon, like it was
our last trip.
Is our last trip before we have a child.
It's not because we are going on another trip, but it's our last trip together alone.
Yes,
without being parents is what I meant to say.
Yes, so that's what we meant by what we were saying in relation to,
we're going on another trip, but I won't see Cam the whole time because he'll be golfing. So
you'll see me every day.
I mean, we'll be spending time together.
We'll be spending time together every evening.
Your idea of spending time together is not the same as my idea of spending time together.
Oh, it won't be one-on-one.
Yeah, that's my idea. That's my idea of spending time together.
One-on-one, quality, unadulterated time.
As somebody whose love language is quality time, saying that we're spending time together when there's 7 other people in the room is not spending time together. That's spending time with 7, 8 people.
Got it.
So just so you know.
Yeah. That's
for future reference.
The extroverted me. Like, if people are in the room, like we spend time.
Cam's idea of us spending time together is anytime we're physically in a room together. That is not the same thing. If we're not talking and having eye contact, it's not spending time together.
Yeah. If she's anywhere near me, I could be upstairs, she could be downstairs. Like
that's spending time together to him, but it's not to me. It's not the same thing.
Oh God.
To me, quality time is we are engaging in a activity that we're both enjoying together and we're not distracted or talking to anybody else.
And that is the true definition of quality.
Yes.
Time.
We spend a lot of time together. Quality time? You got to make time for that.
Understood.
Yes.
So, yes. And then, shout out, because I think we both asked the question. People were saying that, oh, Vicky, you've been, I mean, just she was getting random compliments. She came with me to play golf, and the little lady was like, "Oh my God, you're just carrying so well. I just love your little bump. Oh my God,
don't get me started on this."
But
because I don't like that.
People did provide clarifications in the comments on the video that some people actually don't carry well. Because my question was like, wow, like do people not listen? excuse my ignorance on this particular portion. Like, do people not care? Well, because for me, I'm like, man, if you're carrying a child, like, man, it's a blessing, you know.
It is.
But
that's how I see
one
it.
girl commented and she said, no, everybody can't carry well, because in my whatever pregnancy, I was looking like Shrek and I was crying. I was like, see, now that's funny.
But I mean, I don't even want to get into the whole conversation.
We don't have to. That was just
because people think that I'm people think that when I think this way, people think that I'm like not accepting a compliment, or like I don't want to accept compliments, and that's not it. People think that I'm not accepting a compliment, or I don't want to accept, like I have a hard time accepting compliments, and I don't. Like, if I feel like it's a good compliment, I'm gonna say thank you. But if it's a compliment that makes me think, then that's when I be like, I don't like that compliment, and I'm not gonna accept it. So when people say that, it makes me feel bad, because I know a lot of women who have had babies. Okay, a lot of women, and most of them, including me, don't really feel like we look like, sometimes we don't feel like we look cute, and that's normal, right? But there are some things that people think are cute in pregnancy that may not be cute to somebody else, or there's some things that some women find unattractive in pregnancy that other people may think is like not bad. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it's based on opinion. So when you say like that's a compliment, I mean, yes, but then like somebody who sees that compliment may not, like, okay, like when the person explained it is like, well, if you have hyperpigmentation, or your belly pop out like a torpedo, or you look like you're pregnant from the back, that's not carrying well. And it's like what if somebody carries like that, then they shouldn't feel like they're carrying well because they have those issues? Like, what if my next pregnancy I have hyperpigmentation, and so now I'm thinking in my head, oh well, you know, this isn't carrying well because, I mean, I don't look like I did last pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, it's
making some valid points
to me, because I'm actually pregnant, so I know how this feels. It's like my body is changing, okay, and I have to get used to all these changes. Certain things about my body changing I don't personally like, okay, but other people think it's cute, and they keep pointing it out and saying that it's cute. Okay, cool, you think it's cute. I don't. You thinking it's cute is not going to make me change the way I feel about it, but sure, if you think it's cute, okay, thank you. But like, at the same time, somebody else could look at that and be like, ugh, that's not cute. You know what I mean? And then it's like, either way, I'm conscious of the fact that the body changes are happening. So to keep pointing it out is just weird. And then like to make it like a compliment makes it even more weird, because then like, what if somebody doesn't have that? So it's not a compliment for them. And then I don't know, because I'm on the internet and I know how comparison kills, it just like, to me, it seems so comparative to say that certain things are cute and certain things are not.
That's valid.
You know what I'm saying?
It's 100% valid.
Because it makes me look at other people's pregnancies and be like, okay, so do people think this is cute? Do people think that is? And I know that's like thinking too deep, but that's how pregnant people think. They think about everything deep.
That is 100%
so, like,
valid.
If there are other pregnant people in my comments and they see, oh, I love your shape, and their shape is not like my shape, like, just because my shape belly don't look like they shape belly don't mean they belly shape is not cute. I don't know. I just know how the comparison thing works, and I'm just like, just say I'm pretty. You can just say I look pretty. You don't have to be like, I'm carrying well. I don't know. I guess people gonna compliment however they want to compliment. They're gonna keep saying it, so it doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't really. It's not gonna hold any weight because people are gonna say, they're still gonna say stuff. But I'm just like, man, like, okay, so if I have the complete opposite experience my next pregnancy, are y'all still gonna gas me? Keep the same energy, because there's a possibility I could get bigger and have hyperpigmentation and not look cute the next time. And I need y'all to keep the same energy. Keep that you're carrying well all the way through. Because you never know. Every pregnancy is different.
Carrying well.
Every pregnancy is different, you know. Every experience is different. So you can't you can't put it in a box. Like, everybody's pregnancy is beautiful. whether you have millions of stretch marks all over your belly or you have a smooth, pretty belly, you know, mine's only cute because I got it lasered before because I knew I was going to have babies and I didn't want no hairy belly. So I got it lasered. I mean, you know what I mean? So like, it is what it is. Like, it
is what it is.
You know,
I might put that sound here too.
I need some memes in there.
It is what it is.
I don't know. That's my rant. It's probably thinking way too deep, and y'all probably gonna be like, just accept the compliment. No, because I think deep about things because internet.
The interwebs. And I mean, and you know,
you just have to be careful.
See, since hearing you voice that, I totally agree. Because I mean, like I told a friend of mine, she was telling me like, man, you know, just really, really, this is an amazing time for you, and just be super kind and super gracious because
because
like women's bodies, like our bodies go through a lot while we're pregnant, and I was like, you are absolutely right, because I thank God. I've said this to her, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I thank God that I'm a man. I thank God every day that I'm a man, because some of the things that she's gone through, some of the things that I've seen her experience, I am grateful that I have not had to deal with such things. See, I don't know who I'm talking to out there, but you're not grateful enough that you're a man, and you ought to be. You ought to be glad that you're a man. And so, you know, this is why this is a big learning experience for me. I know she's going through a lot of it. She's going through all of it, but like, she's also, you know, taking in the pregnancy life and lifestyle and different phrases and catch phrases and words and terms that she may hear, and people may comment. You know, I don't read all her comments. You know, I try to read, you know, the ones, because I like to, you know, level set. I'll just keep it at that. I like to level set and ensure that people ain't getting too crazy. But to hear her perspective on that, it brought another level of clarity to me, because that is true. Like, so you said it. I don't need to reiterate it or rehash. You did a good job.
It may be doing too much to think about, you know, ugly people when people call me pretty, but that's how I think. That's how I think. It's like, I think about the people who maybe they're having a hard time in the way they look in their pregnancy, and they don't, you know, they not getting all them compliments. Like, that's what I be thinking about. That's probably doing too much, but whatever. You know?
Hey.
It's just a weird compliment to me. I mean, I can say what I want, I guess, but whatever.
It is what it is. Well, now at this time, we want to get into the question, the pregunta of the day. And that, I just lost it. I didn't lose it, but it's right here. The question of the day, I was on live Thursday night. It was just a random Instagram live, and I just hopped on because I missed my people. And I was on there just talking about how, like, I'm really in a season of gratitude, even though it's like Thanksgiving time. A lot of y'all already got y'all Christmas lights and stuff up, and y'all couldn't wait for Halloween to be over. I'm one of them. We don't have our Christmas stuff up, but like, I'm just glad that we're past.
Glad that we done celebrating the devil.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're past Hallows Eve, and now we're entering into a season of Thanksgiving.
Glad y'all done playing with demons
unto God, and so, you know, I was just talking to my people on live how, like, man, like, it's getting more real. Like, it's real. Like, obviously, like, I look at her belly.
It's real.
And I look at, but like, people are people from the baby shower that are coming, like, they're actually buying stuff, and stuff is coming to the house, and the auntie's been going crazy. Vicky's aunt's been going crazy, sending us stuff.
They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me.
So it's like, man, like, we're really about to have a baby. And I think for the last 2 weeks, I've said it every day, like, dang, we really finna have a baby. And so, like, just soaking it all in, being extremely grateful and being extremely reflective, and trying not to be in such shock, because it's really happening. And so I was just talking about that, and then people started kind of asking questions on the live, and someone asked a really good question. And I was like, you know what? Save that. I asked my wife to screenshot it, and we'll talk about it on the podcast. And so the question is from...
The question is?
Kennedy. It's Kennedy _. And she says, what do you think you'll do differently knowing that your child will be a PK based on your own experience being a PK? And I was like, that's a great question, because not only am I a PK, but my wife is also a PK. So we're 2 times the PK. And so, and we also have 2 different experiences being PKs, right? We're in 2 different geographical locations, right? I'm in the North Chicago suburbs. My wife is in the DFW area growing up. And so it's like, how do we take the experiences that we both have had, and how do we basically raise our child with the experiences and the things that we've gone through, and the things that we know, and the things that we liked and the things that we didn't like? Like, how do we then use all of that to raise our child? And so, so like, how do we think we'll raise, or what do we think we'll do differently knowing that your child will be a PK based on your own experience being a PK? Would you like to go first? Would you like me to go first?
You can go first.
And so I thought about it. And I'm still kind of processing this, because obviously, as like a new parent, like there are certain things that I'm trying to say this the right way. Not necessarily, y'all, just, I'm going to be unfiltered in a way that I normally am not, because my wife knows I like to filter my thoughts so I can say everything perfectly. I'm not going to say everything right in this next segment. So take all mistakes for love. I'm just processing out loud. Okay. Not to glamorize parenting, but like growing up as a kid, like you glamorize certain things and then you demonize other things. And so like, I never like glamorized my parenting. I just thought like, oh yeah, we're gonna have kids, and like, you know, there are certain things like, yeah, I ain't gonna do that to my son, or I ain't gonna do that to my daughter, when you know what I'm saying, based on the things that I did as a kid, like, you know, the punishments that I received, or like when my dad made me type out the entire book of Matthew when I was on punishment for like 1.5 years. Like there are certain things I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that, right? But I never thought like, yeah, like I'm a PK. In my dream of being a father, like, oh yeah, I can't wait to teach my child how to be a different PK, or instill different things in them as a PK than I didn't think about that till now. And so like, I'm still processing that. Yeah. I'm still processing how we're going to do that, because at the same time, and one of the things that I'm trying to learn and do better myself is like, be in the moment, like enjoy the moments, because literally, you know, as far along as my wife is right now, I won't say, because I don't know if she has said, or she gonna say it on her YouTube
by the
channel,
time
whatever.
they watch this, I don't know, maybe. Well, they're watching on Friday, so
Yeah, but you know, she's so many months in. It's like, dang, you already this many months? Like, I feel like it was just the other day when when I walked upstairs to the surprise for a pregnancy test on my desk. Like, that was so long ago, as it, you know, when you go by weeks, as y'all know we do in pregnancy.
Time has flew. And
so time is flying. So I want to seize the day. I want to seize the moment. I want to cherish every single moment, because even like the TikTok trend, you know, that they got the sound at the boop. You know, it's like 1 minute your child is 2 weeks old, and then the next minute they 3 months, and like that's a long time.
It is a long time.
That's a long time. Like I think about my own life, or I think about my sister. Right? She's not to put her on blast, but my sister, she's growing up and she's maturing and she's dating now. Y'all know because y'all see the vlogs, but it's like, dang, like you're my little sister.
Not no more.
Like
she almost 30.
Like, man, like where is the time going? Or being on the golf course, and I play golf with a lot of older, Caucasian brethren, and they were talking about their 45th year high school reunion. And I'm like, yeah, like my high school reunion was like 12 years ago. And it's like, I ain't go to that, but it's like, dang, like I graduated high school 12 years ago, and then I graduated college 10 years ago. It's like, where is the time going? So I want to cherish the moments until it's time for me. Obviously, I don't need to think about it, but I don't want to rush thinking about what I'm going to teach them when they get to college and they're not even
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me cherish
true.
the baby phase.
Because I mean, if you think about it, like, did you really think about what you were gonna do differently when you got married than your parents?
No.
Before we got married?
Well, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, like some of the, I guess you could say, like pacts or agreements that we made.
I mean, there are certain things
that I said, like when we first started dating.
Okay, well, yeah, but that was stuff that I had already experienced, though.
But it was just stuff like, yeah, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. Like, you ain't gonna call me on my name, or you ain't gonna. And it's not that not that my parents did some of this stuff, but some of the stuff they did do, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or in other people's relationship, like, I don't want that, or I do want that, or I do want to be affectionate, or I do want to always, show that I love you and I care. Like, that's why, like, certain people can never show their spouse online, and like me, like, I'm not like super duper gushy with it, but I'm gonna show appreciation to my wife because that's my wife, and it's just wise to do that sometimes. So, anyways, yeah,
I never really thought about it. I went into marriage like thinking we're just gonna make our own marriage. I never really like looked at it like I want to do this, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to be like this. I mean, there were certain things I just don't like, so we wasn't gonna do. Like, we both agreed we don't like arguing, so we're not gonna do that because that's just, I don't like to. But right. I mean, it wasn't because I saw arguing growing up, or no, I didn't. I don't argue, so I'm not gonna. I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to. But like, so yeah, for me, like, even with thinking about kids and how I'm gonna raise them and stuff, like, I never really thought much about that either. I don't like. I told you this in another episode, I think, how I don't like to future project. Like, I don't like to say what I'm gonna do or what I'm not gonna do or make plans because I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get there. Like, I don't know how it's gonna look. I've never done it before, so I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna be as a parent. I have no idea. I mean, I have an idea, a little bit of an idea, just from how I interact with Gigi, but that doesn't really count because she's not a real person. I mean, she's a dog, so. But I just know from like how I interact with her, how I interact with other children, I'm probably just I'm gonna be a disciplinarian. I know that. But I've also seen all these TikToks about gentle parenting and stuff, and I'm like, oh, should I gentle parent? I don't even know if I know how to be gentle. So I don't think I gentle wife. Do I gentle wife? Am I a gentle? No, I'm not. So so I don't know. Am I going to hurt my child's feelings? Probably at some point. Yeah. I mean, but you can only do so much. I'm going to try to be nice. But I mean, I just feel like it's going to be half of me anyways. So we're probably going to tussle, but maybe not. Maybe
I mean, but to a certain extent, there to the question, to your point, and to my thoughts, like it's kind of like what you said already. There are certain things that I experienced growing up, in whether it was me getting in trouble or whether it was me getting a C on my report card. There are things that were said to me that I wish weren't said to me. And so
but I mean, there's certain things I'm not gonna do
when I have kids. I'm gonna try. I understand your heart, but the delivery may have been off. You know what I'm saying? So there are certain things that I'm going to try to implement.
Yeah.
To ensure that I can still get my point across effectively without the.
But I also know
emotional damage.
But I also know too, you could plan to do everything right and still mess up. So that's why I'm like not trying to put too much pressure on myself,
Right.
Because I know, like, even if you feel like you had the most amazing upbringing, your parents still failed you in some ways. Like, and they didn't try to. They weren't trying to. They just knew what they knew. And, like, even with parents who don't like, maybe they're gentler, there's still some things that they might miss, that they may not see like that way. And the kid will probably be like, I mean, I didn't like when you did this. And I'm like, well, I was trying to be gentle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do differently. I mean, I know as far as like the PK thing, I don't want my kid to feel, obviously I don't want them to feel like I felt growing up in certain ways. So there's things, but it's also going to be a very different scenario because I didn't grow up in one church. So our child will probably grow up in one church. So it'll be a little different because there'll be a community of people that they know, I guess, or at least I think I don't know. Your experience is different than mine, so you can speak more to that than I can. But I don't know. I feel like the parts about being a PK that I didn't personally like have a lot to do with the way that my dad preached. So it's very different from what we're gonna experience. But not necessarily because it'll be different. It'll be different. It'll be different for sure. It will not be the same. It won't be the same. You don't even preach like the way my dad preaches, so it'll be totally different. So not really worried about that part. The only thing I did think about was when we were talking about like if you were to like start traveling and having speaking engagements, it triggered something. I was triggered a little bit because I was like, oh shoot. Like that is something that me and my brother, that we kind of dealt with growing up. Like more, we were older though. We were like, I was like a teenager when my dad was traveling a lot. But that kind of plays into like, I don't know, like it's like you miss your parent when they're traveling a lot. So that I wouldn't want for you to be traveling a lot and miss things. You know what I mean? Like it depends on what age, because when kids are younger, they're developing differently than when they're in their, middle school, high school years. So, I mean, I had it, yeah. But that's something I thought about too. I was like, oh man, like that's triggering. I was like, no, don't leave. I had a moment. But I mean, that's a real thing. Like some people's parents are on the road and they have to preach everywhere else. And it's like, what about us?
Yeah.
So I don't want my kid to have to feel that. I don't think they will, but I don't know. That's just something I thought about. And then I also thought about like, how it'll probably be different for us because I don't think I can't say that. I was gonna say I don't think we'll be in church as much as I was when I was younger. So we went to church a lot. But you went to church a lot too, probably. I don't know. Did you? Like, were you there like multiple times, like more than 2 times a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like the home church balance You know what I mean?
But we've never been like an everyday type of
But
like.
also like later on in my personal experience, like it's like we were at church and then after church we spent time with church people like a lot too. So it's like we always had people at the house all the time.
Nah,
And I thought
it
about
wasn't.
that. I'm like, well, what if my child's an introvert and they don't want to be around people all the time? Like, how do I validate their feelings in that way? You know what I mean? That's something I thought about because I felt like I'm a quality time person because I feel like getting quality time is like sometimes not as a kid, more so when I was a little bit older. But yeah, as a kid too, it still kind of felt like lonely sometimes, even though there's like tons of people around you all the time and they love you and care about you. It's like you can still feel like, man, I just want to spend time with my people alone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's overwhelming for some people. Like for you, you're an extrovert, so you like being around a lot of people a lot. That energizes you. For like people who aren't as extroverted, it can be draining. And like, I mean, growing up, like you go to church, so I don't care if you drained or not. You go to church. You know what I mean? But like, it's
Right.
like nobody ever asked us if we wanted to spend time with other people. It's just like you spend time with them, and then you just do. Like you just be on all the time. Like you have to. It's like it's almost like Christian kids are expected to be extroverted. Not even just Christian kids. Like just Christians in general are expected to spend time with people and be happy about it all the time. And like some of us aren't like that. Some of us do better alone. Some of us want to be alone sometimes because being around a lot of people all the time is not fun for us. Like, you know, it's overwhelming. But we have to turn it on. So we have to do it.
And see, that's what I think is beautiful about life, about marriage, about now being parents. Like for me, it's crazy.
It's opposite.
I've never in my life thought like that. Because we either, we were like connected with other people and I'm always like shy when you first meet me. Not anymore because I'm like super confident and like as a kid, like I was just very shy. I was just very mild mannered and just very, just to myself until I got comfortable with you. And then I was boom. Like, so like I've always been extroverted. I've always liked to be around people. I've always liked having friends and going to my friends' houses and having my friends come over and doing things with friends. Like, and even growing up as a kid, before I even like really, really understood like church culture and stuff, like my best friend lived 2 doors away from me. And then our other best friend lived four doors down the street. So like we were always, our little crew gang, like riding our bikes or riding our skateboards or playing basketball on the basketball team, or like we were just always together. So I'm just used to being like a person that's being with other people. And I never was like, oh man, I want to be alone. Or,
well, you know what happened? Because I was like that as a kid too. But the reason that changed for me is because I didn't have consistency with that. So like my friend groups always changed, but I feel like mine changed more frequently than yours did because we were never really at the same church.
I mean, even outside of church, right? Like if I take church out of it, like I lived before my parents live in the house they live in now, we lived in a different house and I was there the majority of my early childhood. And so,
well, yeah, no, I moved
outside of church. Like I had like I lived 2 doors away from my best friend, Colin. Yeah. Like,
I mean, that's still good though.
Corey lived around the corner.
Cause like I moved schools.
Our other friend, Brandon, like we all, like we lived close by or we could ride our bikes to each other's homes. And then we would go do, what kids do. We go to the park or, you know what I'm saying? Fun. Then then when it came more church, then I still had friends, but then it was like, okay, well, this family, they've been at our church for 4 years. Oh, like, this is my best friend. Like, we cool. And then something happens, and then they leave the church, and it's like, oh, this is my best friend. And so, like, yeah, the church definitely created the, okay, well, how long you going to be in my life? Like,
right.
It created that, but
it's amazing that you still like people.
It really is.
Because I had the same experience, and it didn't make me not like people. It just made me not get close to them. Like, I just wouldn't get close.
You were more reserved.
I wouldn't get close to anybody. I could be friends with you. I could be friends with you all day long. But my definition of friend is like, we see each other every now and then and we hang out. That's about it. Like, you don't really know a lot about. I mean, you do know me, but like, we don't ever get close like that. Like, when they need something, they don't call me because I don't know how long you're gonna be here. So,
yeah.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? So it's not that I don't like being around people. It's just over time I got tired of, okay, here we go. Like, I gotta be on for the next person. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of got annoying. So I just kind of like, it's like, okay, if nothing, I have myself. I got my family. So it's fine. And then just handle it. To just deal with my feelings on my own. That's kind of how I became introverted. But I mean, it's amazing that didn't happen to you.
Yeah.
Or that you like have been in front of people and everybody be in your business and like be wanting to know what's going on with you and judging you and all this stuff, and you still like are nice. Like, I be wanting to hide. You don't ever want to hide?
It's just
Some people respond
like, I
differently.
had a period, like, so like for me, right? When I went off to college, I got a chance to be away, and it's like, man, it's good to be away. And then I did my thing, and then.
But you still wanted to go.
And
back.
then it was like, I miss my family. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like,
as great as the weather is in Florida, and as cool as it is being down here, and
I don't know,
you know, my little young 20-year-old mind and what I thought I wanted in a woman and all this stuff, like, yeah, but I mean, also at the same time. I've always been, and I don't know if this makes sense or not, but I've always been sensitive to God.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, I know I'm supposed to go back home.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, you still have your initial like childhood personality. It's gone with you throughout most of your life. Like, I've adapted mine. Mine has adapted.
It's just how God made it. I don't know.
Mine has adapted. And then it's also funny because Lexus grew up the same way, and she's not the same as you. Like, she's more like, I want to hide. We're kind of like that. Because we be talking about how we want to hide all the time. Like,
but here's the thing. This is what I was telling a few of the elders Sunday after church. Because they gave me
it's different for girls.
One of our elders, close family friend of ours, I mean, they've seen me literally grow up. They're super close to their family, all that. Went to high school with their kids. They gave me a card for Pastor's Appreciation Month. And I just knew, and this is a part of that early childhood type stuff. When they gave me the card, I just knew it was a card for my wife. Because growing up as a PK, it don't matter if it was my birthday or whatever, like, people did not get me stuff. They either got Lexus stuff or they got my parents' stuff. So I never expect to get stuff. I just don't. And so Lexus probably feels the way she feels because people were always invested. Oh, I want to do Lexus hair. Oh, I want to blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, Lexus. Oh, Pastor Deborah, Bishop Logan, or at that time, Apostle Logan. Like, they wanted to be, you know, around them. And then me, like, you know, I was like, well, shoot, like, the church people ain't getting me nothing or giving me stuff. So, like, I just expected not to get stuff from other people. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why Lexus feels the way she feels.
No, just people they just be all over you. And maybe that's it. They just be in your business and you want to know stuff. Like, no, let me hide.
I don't know.
But it's just, I don't know.
It's just,
we have different responses to things. That's fine. But
it's a unique dichotomy.
But as far as like what I'm gonna do differently, I don't know. It's like a twofold thing it was a twofold thing for me because I mean people knew your dad, but like I mean my situation was like way different. I mean my dad was internet famous before internet famous was like a thing. So
for sure, absolutely.
So it also played as part in that too because it's like I don't know, it just made it weird. It's like almost like I had to hide. Not that he wanted me to hide, but he was trying to protect me. And so it made me, I fought it a lot, but then I also felt it too. Like I still wanted to be out doing my own thing. Like I still wanted to be on the internet and, you know, on the new social media sites, on the MySpaces and the Zangas and you know what I mean? I still wanted to be social, but then I also like, I still wanted to hide too. Like it was like, people are always judging me, looking at me like, oh, what are you going to do? Like making sure I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird. It's like, not that cause I can't see thousands of people, but it's like, you know, that they're like watching you. It's weird. It's a weird concept. But that also has something. So then I'm thinking like, dang, like, okay, we're on the internet. So not only are we PKs, we're PKs, but not only is our child going to be a PK, but like our child is also going to be internet famous before they're already internet famous right now. Even if we never show the baby face, the baby still is the baby Logan. At least a good 10, 15,000 people are waiting to see this baby face. So, I mean, it's like, I know baby doesn't feel that pressure yet. At some point, they might though.
It's true.
So then I have to like figure out how do I handle that? Because I know how being on the internet affected me, which is why my dad never wanted me to be on the internet like I am. But here we are. He didn't like it, but he got over it. But trust me, this was a whole conversation we had. Okay, my dad was not, he's very worried about me being on the internet like this because he knows how people treated him being on the internet. Like you say one wrong thing and they finna kill you. So he knows that weight and the pressure of people watching you all the time. You know what I mean? And he warned me about that. So now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, shoot, now I got to think about this for my kid. How much do I show? How much do I not show? When is too much too much? You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh man, I don't want to think about it too much because it'll stress me. But I'm already like that with the pregnancy. Like, I'm like, how much do I talk about? What should I keep to myself so that I feel like a normal human being a little bit so I can enjoy this, you know? So then I'm like, dang, how much of my child am I going to show to the world? And then how much do we share to where we can still enjoy it, but also share because we know y'all want to see, but then also like not too much because don't get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because then there's all those opinions too. And then maybe one day kid gets online and finds some stuff. I don't know. See some things that somebody said about them. You know what I mean? It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, but
I don't want to think about that. I don't think about it a lot.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. To go back to the question, there are certain things.
There's so many unknown variables
that our parents, both of our parents, tried to shield us from that are inevitable.
They're inevitable. It's like you can't. It's like I can't protect my kid from bullies.
You can't protect them from the internet because guess what? Kids grow up with iPads and iPhones. They're born with them, almost.
Well,
like they're going to understand
limitations.
Yeah,
because the EMFs are not going to tear up my child's brain.
They're going to have a deeper knowledge of the internet than we are because they were born into it.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there are things that we can help our children understand better because your dad was a PK, but my dad wasn't a PK. So like we have information, insight, wisdom that we can help our children with being PK.
That's the other thing too, though. That's the other thing too. Both my parents are PKs, and they probably did everything they knew how to do in their power to make sure that we didn't go through the same things that they did as PKs. But we have our own unique PK experience, and we still have PK trauma. Well, me and Landon. Jonathan probably is living a good life. He probably doesn't care about anything. I don't know. But the fact that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
there's only so much you can prepare for. Like, it's a totally different generation. The type of PK that my child will be totally different than the type of PK I would be. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't even know what that's gonna look like. I don't even know so many things can change and happen. We don't even know what church is gonna look like for us in the next 10 years.
Right.
It's going to change. So we don't know.
Yep. It's going to change. Our environment's going to change
dramatically.
I feel like we're going to build on the land. So
I mean,
the church. But then,
like, the transition of our parents being pastors and then us moving into that position, like, that's already a weird transition in itself.
Because then this could be a whole nother
It's already
podcast.
a thing.
This could be literally a whole nother podcast. Because now, like, literally, as you were talking, I'm thinking about, we've been talking about succession and stuff like that. Now I'm thinking about, man, what do I want the church to look like for my children?
Exactly.
And that's like a real thing, because you almost dead, sister girl. Like, man, like, I want to make the church dope for my kids.
Yeah.
And I say dope with all reverence and the beauty of splendor and holiness to God the Father.
It's a lot of things to think about. And, like, on top of all the things that I already think about, I don't even think about that, because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to wear to the baby shower and how I'm going to do my hair and what this Amazon drop shoot finna look like.
Well,
and
song says, just take one step at a time.
I'm only into next week, child. When people ask me about stuff, I'll be like, I don't even know what I'm finna do 2 weeks from now. So give me some time to process. That was so fake.
Wrong. Not a good.
It's how you laughed fakely. You laughed fakely with the fake laugh. That's really what threw me. But
this show is so fake.
Yeah. At this point, there's so many things I don't know. I mean, I think about things, but there's still so many things I don't know, especially about raising some children. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to have a whole newborn. I don't even know how to do that by myself. Well, not by myself, but that came out. The one thing I'm not worried about is pushing the baby out. Everything else after that is what I'm worried about. What is this gonna look like? What, I gotta wake up and there's a baby I gotta take care of? A whole baby? I gotta put my boob in its mouth? Ow.
Yep.
I'm like, dang, I gotta get my nails taken off. I'm not gonna have time to go get my nails done. I'm gonna have to get my nails taken off probably in January. And then I'm like, dang, I'm not gonna be able to have no eyelashes. What am I gonna do to my hair? What, like, because I'm not gonna be able to do me. You know what I'm saying?
Just do like one.
It's not about
have the lash deck come to the house.
It's not about me. It's not about me no more. So at least for the first like couple months, like the first month and a half, I'm gonna be bummy out here.
No, you're not. Well, yeah, I'm a be here.
I mean, I know you're gonna be here, but like, am I gonna want to do these things? I don't want to do these things now. So, like, that's what I'm like. What is my brain gonna be like?
There'll be some moments where I'll be like, listen, babe, go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Who finna drive me? Because I'm not.
Go get your nails done, hair done, everything done. Go
I
get
appreciate
the lashes
that.
done. Go get the toes
Because
taken
I'm like,
care of.
I ain't gonna want to do none of this. I'm gonna want to be in the bed.
Papa C gonna hold it down. You feel me?
What is my vagina gonna feel like?
Okay, I think these are some words that we're getting into now that might, I don't know.
I've said vagina on YouTube plenty of times.
Just making sure.
Plenty. Now the monetization is not. It's limited on some of them. But that laugh sounded like my mom.
So as you all can see, we don't have all the answers. Sway.
I never have the
You
answer.
don't got all the answers.
If I had an answer, it came from the Lord, because I
but
don't.
song says, with God I can get through this. And so, that's what we're going to do. We're taking it one step at a time. We're trying to cherish every moment. I truly mean it. Trying to cherish every moment. Because we're just in a miracle season and a season of gratitude and a season of beautiful chaos. And, y'all keep us in your prayers. And, so any other PKs out there that's, maybe have a similar, like, this question, like, made sense to you, and maybe you can let us know in the comments, like, what you think about the question that was asked and all of our thoughts and things that we're processing through during this time. So y'all let us know. But yeah, man, it's a time. What a time to be alive.
Coronavirus.
So
Coronavirus.
now you've gone too far.
It's real.
Yeah, you've gone too far.
It's getting real. Coronavirus.
Listen, hey, we love you. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Let's get this podcast to 3,000 likes on YouTube. Let's get it to 3,000 likes. And if you haven't done so already, you should already be subscribed to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with everything is weave. That just hurt. I hit my elbow. Stay up to date. Make sure y'all follow us on Insta, on all social media platforms that we're on. And we'll see you guys next time, this same time next week. Holler at your boy. Peace.